Hello everyone, I'm Yan from Xinhua News Agency, and welcome to Xinhua Live.
Hi, I'm Yao. Right now, we are actually at Yanjing district, just north of Beijing, and this is the one of the 3 competition zones for 2022 Winter Olympics.
Yeah, and just as Yao said, and here we can see that we're in a mountainous area, and some of you might get familiar with that because before I just came here and I went to the National Alpine Ski Center and also the Olympic and Paralympic Village, and today, right here, we're arriving at the National Sliding Center. So I'm wondering, what kind of events will be held here, Yao?
So actually, during the Winter Olympic Games, this place will host bobsleigh, luge, and skeleton competitions.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So I can't wait to see that. And we are so lucky today to have one expert with us. So his name is Mr. Corton. Now let's go to find him and he will show more information about the sliding center for us. Let's go. Oh, here's the skiing. Hello, Mr. Corton.
Hi.
There is the camera.
Hi.
So first, would you please introduce yourself a little bit to the camera?
Hi, my name is Normans Kotans. I'm from Latvia and I'm working in a Beijing 2022 organizing committee as a sliding sports expert.
Oh yeah, and Mr. Corton, I just see that here is in a working process and what they are doing now.
These are ice makers for this track. They're here already preparing their ice from middle of September, and at the moment they're doing daily maintenance before Chinese team training in the evening, and they're preparing the start area and start groove for skeleton training. This start right here is for bobsleigh and skeleton trainings and competitions, and as well these days we have here luge trainings, and luge start is in a little bit different area because luge, bobsleigh, and skeleton they have different start ramps and different start areas because each sport is a little bit different, so they have different starting techniques.
Well, thank you so much for the introduction. And I think we're a little bit cold now, so why not we step inside? Yeah, okay.
Actually, we can walk up here, so through toward there, and maybe you want to see luge start area, so we can because we just saw for bobsleigh and skeleton start.
I see.
And right there is luge start. So maybe we can take a quick look so you can see the difference, and then we go up to the warm-up area of athletes.
And Mr. Corton, how long have you been working in China for this Olympic?
I actually started to work already with China and this project in 2017 while I was working in Pyeongchang Olympic Games organizing committee. I was working here as a consultant, and I was here in 2017. But for my full-time job here in China, I moved in 2018 September, and it's already more than 3 years I have been living and working in China.
And just as you said, and I know you're really professional at this sports, so how many other venues in the world have you been to?
Well, I've been to most of them. I have to really count, but around 12 or 12 venues around the world. There are very few I haven't been to and I haven't slid in, yes.
Yeah, and compare with them, and what do you think of the advantages of the Yanqing National Sliding Center?
Oh, there are a lot of advantages in this venue for the athletes and teams' convenience. The facilities, first of all, are amazing. There are a lot of space for athletes. For example, dressing rooms are located in the same levels with the start areas, and then we have a very spacious preparation areas for athletes before the start for their sleds. We have very convenient walkways on both sides of the tracks where coaches and team members can film and check athletes sliding during the runs, which is very important, so they can basically access any part of the track. One of the most important things here is that track is fully covered, and there is designed a terrain weather protection system, which is protecting from all weather impacts, from wind, from sun, from
like this roof.
Yes, exactly. So the roof is covering the whole track, which is in other tracks it's not like that. And here we are safe to do the competition almost in any weather conditions, which is very unique, and there are many other advantages on this track. I could spend a day maybe explaining you.
There is a 360-degree turn, which is also very special. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, we call it here spiral, and
Okay.
because it's more than 360 degrees, and at first it goes uphill and then it goes downhill. It's more than 360 degrees, so therefore we call it spiral, and it's look and a feeling in it. It's very unique. It's not like in any other track in the world. So there are as well some tracks with where they have a spiral, but this is very unique. Very unique.
So what does the turn do? Like it just adds more flavor or make the game more exciting, right? So make like the spectators and to be more excited to look at the like actions and turns and twisting. Like what
Sure.
does the like 360-degree turn
So-
also add to the games?
It's a very long turn, so
Okay.
usually the turns are much shorter. In a long turn like this one is athletes have it's difficult for them to find the right driving line, because the pressures on a corner they're changing, and they have to find the right feeling how to steer through it, and with the right driving and with the right driving skills they can find a good time there, and as well they have to drive it perfectly to have a good exit out of it and have a good combination with the following curves
I see.
on the track.
So it adds a lot of difficulties to
Yes,
the game as
this
well.
track actually has several corners which are very different than in other tracks of the world, and many athletes say that there are a few very challenging areas where you can lose a lot of time, and this will make it interesting for athletes and as well for spectators, because if a track is very easy, it's sometimes maybe a little bit boring to watch, because
Yeah,
everyone is
lost
driving the
interest.
same line. But here we can expect that during Olympic runs here we will have a lot of different performance from athletes, and they may make mistakes, and some may have good runs, and then there will be changes.
Right, it's
but-
more
yes,
competitive
it's more
for
exciting,
athletes.
and of course it's sad that athletes make mistakes, but this is what the sport is about. Is about to have a very good run and show your driving skills on the track. So this track will be good for people who has a good driving skills and who can quicker learn how to drive through these corners with a better speed, and we will see that in February how it will go.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Maybe we can go upstairs as well, so we can go to warm-up area, which is as well for sure I would say the best warm-up facility for all athletes around in comparison with other tracks of the world.
You said the best, as from your perspective, or
I think as well, athletes' reviews has been very good, because this warm-up area is fully covered, and they don't need to wear 3 jackets to warm up, because in other tracks it's mostly open air, and if it's cold outside and it's snowy or raining, they have to do it outside. So here athletes can enjoy very
Pretty warm.
yeah, very comfortable facilities. We can go upstairs.
This one, here. Yeah, we can see here it writes indoor warm-up room. Okay. So Mr. Corden said, I know like Latvia is really like, how to say, strong in the winter sports game, but like in many countries, like people don't know much about like the bobsleigh or the luge, and I know you are professional at it many years. So what you find attracts you most about this sport?
Let's go inside first.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Oh, it's really warm here.
Pretty more better than the outside.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, you asked me what attracts me most about the sport. It is speed, it is adrenaline, which you can get while driving and watching. And these are emotions which comes from athletes when they go to the start, when they prepare to the start, and after they finish, because it's very, for me as an athlete especially, the emotions are to see athletes being happy or sometimes being sad about their results and everything. That's what makes the sport interesting, and I like to watch these sports because they're fast, they're very can be unpredictable. Because anytime something can happen, and athlete can be a leader after 3 runs in Olympics, but then in the last run, like for example in Pyeongchang, in a last run, athlete make a mistake, and then he loses the gold medal, and someone is excited. So it's like a movie, like something exciting, and that's what makes me like this sport. That it's unpredictable, fast, a lot of adrenaline, and people who are around this sport are it's like a family. So that's what's.
Okay, so I wonder the general differences between bobsleigh, luge, and skeleton. Can you tell our audience more about the basic knowledge for the sports? Because in China it's not that popular yet, but hopefully in the future it will get more and more popular.
I hope so too. It will get more popular, and that's why I'm very happy to introduce. But I will try to speak very, very simple introduction,
like
so maybe people can
better.
understand. So first, bobsleigh is pushing a sled, 2, 4, or 1 person pushing the sled and then jumping in like in a big bathtub, and then sliding down the hill up to 135 kilometers per hour on our track, and steering it with our hands through the corners. Then this is bobsleigh. For skeleton, it's a 1 person. They push the sled from the start, then they jump on the sled, and they're lying down on their stomach with the head first, and they're steering with their body, with their shoulders, hips, and toes. They're driving down the hill as well, the same course. Then for luge, they're sitting on a sled as well, 1 person or 2 persons, and then they're with their hands, they're accelerating, and they're accelerating for first 20-30 meters. Then they're lying down on their sled on their back with their feet first, and then steering the sled with their as well body, hips, and shoulders down the track. So this is a very basic explanation of the differences of 3 sliding sports, which will be held on this track.
And luge is the only one starts with the person inside of the sled, right?
Yes, luge at the start area, they're sitting on a sled, and they have a start handles, and they accelerate with their hands. So if skeleton and bobsleigh, they're running to push the sled, then luge are sitting on a sled, and they have to accelerate with their hands. They have special spikes on their fingertips, like 5 millimeters long spikes, and they try
the
to
ice.
push the sled with their hands.
That's really cool.
So these are the simple differences, and of course their sleds are completely different, and driving techniques are different, but at the same time they share the same track. There are some athletes who can do, for example, skeleton and bobsleigh. So there are like few athletes who have done it, and there are as well. For example, luge athletes who were starting as luge athletes, but then they switched to bobsleigh in their later career, because luge you can start from a younger age.
I see.
And there are athletes, for example, I know there has been one Korean athlete who has participated in the 3 Olympic Games in 3 different disciplines, like bobsleigh, skeleton, and luge.
Wow.
But there are cases when people are doing that. But mostly if you want to be at the top level, and if you want to be the top 6 or top 10 athlete,
be really
you usually
focused.
have to focus on a one discipline for a long time, and then you can be very, very successful there.
Yeah, and as you said, and here is a warm-up room, and like later here will be some facilities, or it's just like the ground for them. It's like any equipment will be put later here.
No, actually, athletes when they arrive here, so to the track, so they put their sleds down on a preparation area near the start. Then they go change in a changing room, and then they come up here to warm up. And they don't need a lot of special equipment to do this. Basically, they're running, they're doing like jogging, then special exercises, sprints, and they bring their own simple equipment, like mats or some rubbers or some smaller gym equipment which they need personally. But for the bigger exercises, they will do in Olympic Village across the road of the sliding center. There's Olympic Village, and there they will have gym facilities, which are as well very important for athletes' preparation. So it will be very convenient for them to live very nearby, to have a gym there, to come to the track in around 10 minutes to be at the venue. So it's very, very convenient, and I think this is in my experience, the closest village to the venue I have seen in history of sliding sports. So it's very, very close and very convenient.
And now you live here already? Right.
No, I'm not an athlete, so I cannot live. I live in Yanqing, so I'm living 30 minutes drive from here. So it's a bit of a commuting for us, but for athletes, it's going to be much more convenient.
Yeah, and we can see this warm-up room also have a really nice panoramic view of the Olympic Village, right? So I think it's really great they can do some warm-up and maybe release their pressure a little bit while spectating the view here.
I think the view is very important, because it's not only the village, it's beautiful mountains of this area, and on the left side that you can see their alpine skiing venue from here as well. So it's just when you're warming up, you have a good view, you can breathe and relax and focus on your sliding, because as well it's very, very important for athletes to be focused and not bothered, and have a good atmosphere around, so they can prepare for their runs, because it's very important for them while sliding to make decisions in hundreds or thousands of seconds sometimes, because the speed is very fast, and there are no brakes on a sled, so you cannot brake during your run. So if you make a mistake, you can have bad consequences or even a crash. So that's why they have to be really focused and have a clear mind when they come to the start from warm up and then through preparation area to start.
Yeah.
And I heard it has a really interesting nickname called the Formula One on Ice. I thought it's really like vivid description of the sports.
Yes, it's how many people call it, and This is a very fast sports, and as well it involves a lot of technology because sleds have a lot of science behind it and a lot of time mechanics and people who build the sleds have spent to make the fastest setup for the sleds and the fastest to make it from the best materials and have a best equipment, because that's one part of the sports. I mentioned before that it's very important to have a good driving skills. This is like 1/3 of the results. Second third is your equipment, like runners and a sled, how you prepare it, how you build it, and how you have done your homework before with the preparation of the sled. And then the third part is pushing the sled. Beginning acceleration can make a big difference at the bottom of the track, because if you are, for example, 1/10 of a second faster at the start, at the finish, it is multiplying by 2 or 3 times, and that's why people are paying a lot of attention to start time. Especially you can see in bobsleigh and skeleton where they have to push the sled. They're really like athletic and really focused on this push. And as well in luge, you have to put a lot of power from your hands and your body to make acceleration at the start. So those 3 things together makes a difference in your result at the end. Yes, because if you don't have one, if you, for example, are good in pushing and you have a good driving skills, but your equipment is not good, your result as well will not be so good as well. If you don't have a start, but you have a good driving and good equipment, so it's not gonna give you a good result.
Yeah, I think it requires a lot for the athletes to get a really good results for them. And I see that like it's an open area for the audience. Like we can, if like we are the audience to watch the game, like it's just like the Formula One. We're standing on the platform and we can like see the
Cheering.
cheering for the athletes.
Yes, that is in an open area, and this is the tradition how people watch the sports. You go outside with your friends and family, you go along the track, you have a hot tea or some beverages and food, you eat there, you go to watch the competition, you see athletes sliding by, and you follow the race on a TV and on a big screens in spectators areas. So as well in our track, when spectators will arrive, they will have a big screens there. They will have a view to the field of play where they will see athletes passing by on their sleds, and rest of the run can be followed on a big screens.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for telling us so much about it. And the last question, we know the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics is approaching, so what's your expectations towards it?
My expectations are to have a great, fantastic event, have a great races, very exciting races. I want that all athletes and teams, National Olympic Committees, all federations, everyone is coming here and enjoying the time here and enjoying the facilities which we have worked on for so long time, which we prepare for them and our organization to show them the best. And I'm sure our team has done so much work, and it will be a fantastic experience for everyone coming here to our venue during the Olympic Games. We will make sure we do our best and they have the best experience.
Thank you, Mr. Corden. Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much.